there, my name is Valerie White Williams, and today I am talking about the sixth house. So the sixth house is the one that is underneath the horizon line, moving, actually it's this way as you look at it. It is related to Virgo because it's mutable Earth. And that sixth house is one of the kind of more confusing houses. It really relates to our health, how we organize our reality, our work environment, pets, animals, health, fitness. There's a lot of stuff in that house. So we're going to go through all of the placements today. Yes, we are. And before I do that, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell so you get notified of all of my uploads. So of course, we're going to start with the sun. The sun is what I call the hero's journey. It's where you are committed to shine your light. And it's not always easy because it's something you're going to grow into. As you grow in your life journey, you're going to show that light, that shining light. And so the sun is very powerful. And in that house, you're shining a light on the organizational aspect, your physicality. So people that have sun there are very much interested in nutrition, health, taking care of animals, being organized. You might be a fitness coach. Also medical professionals, because they're dealing with the body and keeping the health there. Could be yoga instructors, anything that is organizing. So people that have the sun there have a passion to share health related, organizational related things. And they might devote their life to helping others get fit, get organized, taking care of animals. They could have farms and work with animals in that capacity because it's all about this organizing, because Virgo, like I said, coordinates with the sixth house. And so Virgo is mutable Earth. So it's really about taking care of the body and the health of people. So that is sun. And the sun is where you're going to shine. You're going to shine in that capacity. It's not necessarily related to your career, but it could be. It could, because sometimes people don't have a career, but they leave a legacy, an impact in that part of the world. All right, so now we're going to go into moon in the sixth house. So the moon is different than the sun because the moon is reflective. It comes easy. So in the sun, you're actually going to grow into that. You might go to school for that sun position, and you might just, learn about, because you're fascinated with it. You're going to become a fitness coach, things like that. You're going to work towards it. So there's a work putting to do those things, but the moon is reflective. And so what happens with the moon, it's something that comes fairly easy to you. You might have grown up in a family that was really health oriented, and you know that stuff. You already know it. It comes naturally to you to eat right, feel good, learn how to take care of your body and have fitness. And it's just like, this is easy. And also the moon, where the moon shows up in the house, is actually where you are naturally getting things together. Yeah, it shows up in a different way because it comes natural to you. Now again, it all is about the signs. So the signs are what I call like ice cream flavors, potato chip flavors. So let's say you have moon in Gemini, you might be coaching people and speaking out about how people can build their health. And you might have grown up in a family that was very intellectual. Maybe your parents were doctors or fitness people, and you just grew up with it. And you're going to share that information because you know it comes so easily. And so let's say in Leo, you might be a bodybuilder, and you grew up and had this environment that it was easy for you to have a fit body because you grew up with it, or it just kind of something that was intuitive for you. You just were you knew that. So the moon sometimes is where you've been before. Like in a past life, you might have already done it. So it's like, this is easy. It comes naturally. I'm just going to reflect that energy. And it's attractive because the moon is attractive. People will be attracted to that. And the moon is also the place where you nurture yourself. So if the moon is in that sixth house, you feel really nurtured when you care for your body and your animals and your health and your fitness. It makes you feel good because it's easy for you. It's your comfort place. So that is the moon in the sixth house. So now we're going to go into Mercury. Now, Mercury is your mental body. It's how you think about things. So Mercury in the sixth house is going to be intellectual. There are going to be lots of studies going in. So that seems to me like perfect placement for doctors, nurses, people who work in the health field, because they have to learn and they like it. It's not like they're passionate about learning to take care of health, fitness, or they might be really nerdy fitness coaches that have done a lot of training, really studying everything, and they are fascinated by all the different ways to be healthy and fit. And of course, it depends on the sign. So say for Capricorn is cardinal earth. That takes action. So they might start a fitness club or a bar, but a fitness a gym, and build a business through that fascination of having the knowledge of how to be fit. So that's an example. Also, the doctors, they're going to have to work hard and study for years to have that passion to be able to share their knowledge. I know my doctor, whenever I go to see him, he tells me all the names of the hand and what side they are. And yeah, I have placements in the sixth house, but that's pretty nerdy. It's just constantly knowing all the structures of the bones. That is a perfect example of Mercury in the sixth house. All that anatomy, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go into Venus. Now, Venus is completely different. Venus is that emotional body. And so the emotional body is feeling, how you relate with other people, how your emotional expression is, which seems a little bit interesting when it's in the sixth house, because sixth house is kind of practical. It's kind of practical knowledge, but with this Venus in the sixth house, your body feels comfortable. The emotional calms you down. So basically you feel calmed when you take care of your body and you feel fit. You take care of animals. So I think the animal place is going to be showing up a lot with Venus there, because Venus is so caring, it's so emotional, and taking care of animals can give you that comfort and that feeling of, this is me and I feel good, because the emotional body can be a little bit awkward, especially in that place, because it's really, you're relating to other people. Also with Venus there, having to organize, that it's going to feel really good when you organize your house and it feels comfortable and it makes comfort for you. And it seems kind of strange that the emotions will feel better when you're in an environment that feels organized. So there's this organizational component to the sixth house that's going to help your body and your emotions feel like, yeah, I can relax, I feel good, and it's a great environment. And again, let's talk about one of the signs. Let's talk about Pisces. So Pisces in the sixth house in Venus is probably really into yoga or dance, and so that fitness aspect has to be creative for them, because it's not going to be like nerdy. It's going to be like, I need to be artistic with this. I need to have, they might be dancers, they may be yogi people, they might just need to have a fitness routine that expresses their creativity. So that's how the ice cream flavors show up in Venus in the sixth house. Okay, so now we're going to go into Mars. Now, Mars is the physical body. It's the physicality, our physical body. So Mars in the sixth house is ultra focused on health and fitness and taking care of the action. So that is going to be that fitness coach that is going to help you get to your fitness goals. Or maybe it's just you want to have a ripped body, you're focused on that, and that's your goal. That's what you want. You physically want to create that health, the fitness, because this is about the body, taking care of your body, making sure your body's healthy, making sure you're fit. Or you might work with animals and train with them and you're really active. Like, maybe you're a cowboy and you're like doing rodeos and you're just working with animals in riding them. Again, physicality in that 6th house is really key. So let's talk about another sign. We'll talk about Aries, taking action. That makes me think of cowboys. I live in a town that has a rodeo. And so those cowboys taking action, training in that 6th house with the physicality of the body and the animals, boom, that's Aries. They're taking action because you have to. You're going to get out that chute, bam, you have to do what you have to do. So that is Mars in the 6th house. So now we're going to go into Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is the planet of benevolence. It's where things come to you. And you're like, wow, this just showed up to me. Wow, that's really great. So having Jupiter in the 6th house is that you may just have this natural knack to help yourself and others to create, fitness and health related concepts. So you might run into people that are going to help you with those things, because that's where it shows up. It's almost like you have a fairy godmother that says, bling, here it comes, here it is. So this perfect cookbook, or someone will show you how tips to help make gardens and make herbal supplements. And you're like, wow, this just showed up to me. And I love it. I love it because, that Jupiter essence is going to give you that training to actually have a healthy body and have an organized place and work ethic and creating the work. And this goes for work too, not just your house, but your daily tasks, how you handle daily tasks, and giving the sense of, this is kind of easy for me, and it works and it flows. So there's a flow for that Jupiter energy there in that 6th house. I mean, a lot of people wish they had that, because I can't organize myself, but people that have Jupiter in the 6th house, it's like, yeah, I got this. It's not so hard for me because it comes easily for me. So that is Jupiter in the 6th house. So now we're going to go to Saturn in the 6th house. And Saturn is the task keeper. He's the one that's like the time lord. And so normally where Saturn shows up, it's a place that you really, 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 really want, but you don't think you can have it. It's like, I can't do it. I want it, but I can't have it. Want it, but I can't have it. And so we call it the time lord because usually when we get to our first Saturn return, we're going to be reminded, okay, this is why I have Saturn here, because I really need to make this happen. Now, Saturn is also earthy, Capricorn related. And in that 6th house, it could be that you might have some serious health problems growing up, or organizational. Maybe you're like super organized, your life is kind of a mess, or you have health problems and you just can't get on it. You can't get on it, but you need to do it. And so that Saturn energy is helping you build. So Saturn, it has doom and gloom, but basically what Saturn, when he shows up in any house position, you need to create your own structure to build where that Saturn shows up. So what happens when Saturn is in the 6th house, that person has to take responsibility, because that's what Saturn's about. Take responsibility and build those good health habits. So someone who would have Saturn might have some health problems or have some challenges, maybe I should say. And as they continue to grow, they start taking responsibility to their health, their fitness, and then they're going to blossom, because that's what Saturn does. You have to work hard to get it. And it's not being handed to you on a silver platter. You have to grow into it. And this is a tough house to be there because, there's a lot of health problems that people have. fitness issues, organizational, you might be a big slob and you can't find anything. And then you have to like learn how to structure your life and your workload and your fitness and your health, because that's what's going to go. And then eventually you're going to go, wow, look where I've gone. This is great. I mean, it's not great when you have to start down there, but it's going to be great as you build into this mastery, because that's really what Saturn's all about. All right, so now we're going to go into Uranus. Now Uranus is, now we're getting into the outer planets. They don't have as much impact, but they're kind of like these little fairy godmothers around that are going to give you some inspiration, especially Uranus, because it's going to give you this spark of, wow, I get it. It's like a lightning strike. So in that 6th house, that's exactly what shows up, is that you are going to get this sudden inspiration of, oh my goodness, I need to change my ways and I'm going to do this. I'm going to find the solution. It comes to me right now. And then it's like, okay, I got it. And so you're probably going to be a little bit more, I'll say, counterintuitive. It might be things that are more cutting edge, because Uranus is really about the cutting edge. What's coming? What's new? What's the newest thing? So basically you might get this new download of all the new fitness, like paleo, or the different types of fitness, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This makes sense. I'm going to go for it. It's cutting edge. It's new, but I'm going to go for it. This is because I need to. And you're going to be fascinated when those things come in and you're going to go, yes, this is it. I'm not going to do the old school stuff. I'm going to try this new thing, new fitness, new diet, new type of, maybe health remedy. And you're like, okay, I'm up. I'm doing it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Neptune. Now, Neptune is the planet that is connected to spirituality, mysticism. So when Neptune is in the 6th house, things can feel a little bit like, it's kind of like opposite, because the 6th house is so physical. It's so much about your body and health and fitness. And this Neptune is really, it's kind of connected to the sea. So it's kind of a little bit awkward placement. But basically what you're going to be feeling is that keep your body healthy and fit, you have to have a spiritual side. So that Neptune is calling you to kind of go, okay, I need some spirituality, and that's going to be the foundation. And then I'm going to build from there. So I have to go into that spiritual place. And then from the spiritual place, I'm going to find what I need to do to stay healthy and fit. I know that's kind of inside out, because that is such an earthy house with fitness and health and animals and organizing, that mystical place feels like it doesn't apply for those people, but it does, because that's the way astrology is. It's like a puzzle. You need to think it through and find out where those placements hit you and how they are going to integrate into what you're here to do, because your astrology chart is your blueprint. So it does sound awkward, but I think the people that have Neptune in the 6th house, they're going to go, yeah, that's me. I need to have it coming from a spiritual place, and then I'm going to build it out. All right, so then we're going to talk about Pluto. Now, Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth and transformation. So it's kind of like the hero's journey. It's actually like when Persephone goes down to the underworld and then you're transformed. So Pluto means that in that 6th house, you are going to probably have many starts and finishes, lots of changes that are going to come around. And you might start one way and you're like, okay, burn it down. That's not working for me. I'm going to try something else. And just a trial and error to figure out how you're going to organize, how you're going to take care of your health. And it could take a lot of time up and down to figure out, okay, now I got it. Now I got it. And again, let's talk about a sign here. So we're going to talk about Aquarius. So, well, no one has Aquarius. I won't do that. Pluto is moves really slow. So let's talk about Pluto and Scorpio, because there's a lot of that going on right now. And so Scorpio is intense, and so is Pluto. So people that have Pluto in that sixth house are going to be kind of dramatic, and it might take them some time to really get what they need. And it's going to be probably dramatic because Scorpio and Pluto is really dramatic. And it so might be some, trying things not working, but finding that solution and just being willing to burn it down if it's not going to work, and then you're going to try again. Because that's what Pluto is. You have this journey to the underworld, and then you're like, you know what? This isn't working. I'm going to do it this way. And that's where that power comes to give you energy for whatever you're working with in that sixth house, depending on other influences, okay? Because sometimes there's other stuff going on. So now I'm going to talk about a couple other things. We're going to talk about the North Node and the South Node. So the North Node is kind of on this elliptic thing, opposites. So the North Node is where you're supposed to be going to, and the South Node is where you're supposed to kind of get away from. So we're going to start with the South Node. So the South Node, that is in the sixth house, and where the South Node is where it's comfortable, all this stuff, but it's kind of, you need to move away from it and go on the other side. So if you have South Node on the sixth house, that means you're used to focusing on your health and your fitness, and you're kind of maybe obsessed about having a great body and working out and focusing on yourself and all that. But what you're really supposed to be doing is focusing on the other side, which is the 12th house, the spiritual house. You're supposed to be moving towards, looking to the spirituality of life versus focusing on your physicality all the time, because that's what that sixth house is. I'm a body and I got to take care of it, and I got to take care of all that stuff. So it feels comfortable to be there, but to make your life really work for you. And it's not like you're not going to be in the sixth house, but you really need to grow into the spiritual side, because that's where your chart is pushing you to do. Okay, so now we're going to flip it, and we're going to have the South Node in the 12th house, and then the North Node in the 6th house. So that's somebody who is very shy, very mystical, wants to stay alone, study spirituality, almost like monastic life, and I'm just a spiritual person, but that doesn't maybe even have much of identity to their physicality, like they almost ignore it. And that feels comfortable because maybe they were a monk in a past life and they didn't live in the real world. But they're supposed to come and learn how to organize and inhabit their physicality, inhabit and take care of their physical body and organize things and be very conscious of that organized life. So this is the other side. That's where the North Node is. You're focused on creating that structure to create an organized life that's going to work for you. And then the very last one is Chiron. And I have to say, I have Chiron in the 6th house. So Chiron is the wounded healer. It's where you have a wound and then you're going to heal it, and then you're going to help others. So that is my placement. I have Chiron in the 6th house in Pisces. So I actually had a lot of health problems as a child. I was hospitalized a lot. I had tonsillectomy, and I had complications from that, and I had all these other allergies to medicine. I was in the hospital, and I kind of realized as a child that they were all practicing. And so as an adult, as I started growing up, I started realizing that, to me, because I also have Chiron in Pisces, that spiritual essence is my truth. And I've now teach others that, our spirit is where we come from. Our health comes from taking care of our spirit, and the health things come out of that. So it's kind of like what I was talking about, Neptune in the 6th house. That is kind of similar to my placement, because it's in Pisces, but that Chiron is, I take care of my health in a different way because I see it from that spiritual perspective. So, all right, that is the 6th house, and I hope you guys really enjoyed that. It is kind of one of those houses. It's a little hard to grasp because there's so many pieces to that puzzle, but I certainly hope that this resonated to you 6th house people, and I'd love to hear the comments below. And also I want to let you know that I have 2 groups on Facebook. The first one is called YouTube Success Strategies, and that's where I'm coaching people on how to make YouTube work for them. And then the other group is called Creative Soul Alignment, and that's for people that are interested in creativity and spirituality. And yeah, that's what we're here to do. We're here to create a world that works for everybody. And the way we're going to do that, we're just going to visualize it. And once we all come together, it's going to happen. So I hope you join me with that. All right, take care. Bye.